with your life right now?
Back into my house, the one that got damaged, living on the second floor, just working on getting the first floor all taken care of. You know, getting subflooring in. We just got doors back on the house, walls, stuff like that.
How much did they estimate the damage to be?
Well, you have two estimates. You have the contractors, what they want to do the work, and then you have the estimate from the flood insurance and the home insurance. I think the contractor wanted like 170K, and the insurance only wanted to give me, I think, 90. So now it's going to be a battle. It's definitely a stressful situation.
Chris, there's a report out today that Anderson Silva would rather fight Cung Le than fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I guess if I was him, I'd rather have that fight too. No disrespect to Cung Le, I just think that's a good match.
Yeah, but how difficult do you think it's going to be to get that fight?
I think Dana White wants it to happen, and UFC wants to make it happen. It's going to happen.
From a health standpoint,
it's a little different with Anderson, though. Obviously, him being who he is.
Mm-hmm.
From your situation, you know, with your house and then your health standpoint, I mean, fighting I think would be really critical. Where do you stand in terms of being able to get back?
Well, I just had shoulder surgery, so 2 months in from operation, and another 2 months I'm supposed to be at 100%. So I'm looking July 4th weekend, Anderson Silva, give him a rematch, immediate rematch, November, Madison Square Garden.
So it's 2 months that you have until it's 2 months that you have until you're healthy, and then another 2 months
training camp.
So you're figuring in 4 months
yes,
you would be fighting.
Yep.
Okay.
What exactly did the surgery entail?
They repaired my labrum. I forgot the name of the tear, scar tear or something. And then cleaned up my rotator cuff. I had an AC joint separation that I just left. That's it. So more just labrum repair and a couple of cleanups.
How long had the shoulder been bothering you prior to that?
Never had a problem with the shoulder. Like one big shot and ripped everything apart. Yeah, so I'm hoping because I've always had good shoulders, that it just goes back to being good again. I'm not susceptible because I feel like my muscles are tight in my shoulders. It prevents injury usually, so hopefully it goes back fast.
Did you lose any range of motion?
What's that?
Did you lose any range
I
of
can
motion?
shadow box. Range of motions is going to take a while.
Okay, I had the same thing. So.
Okay, wow, that's where you're at now?
Yeah, that's 12
I
years
can
ago.
already do that. Better than you already.
Yeah, 13 years ago.
Jeez.
I'm always curious, kind of like, how long is the hang your head and be pissed off about what happened for you after the injury, knowing that you had a fight coming up, and how soon after that are you like, all right, now time to move past this?
Yeah, you know what, I really wanted that fight with Boch. I think it was a good time for me to shine and just really solidify the fact that I wanted Anderson Silva. But I think everything happens for a reason. Somehow I'm back in this position of being #1 contender again with Bisping losing. So, and I'm able to concentrate on my house a little bit with everything going on. It's been more stressful than I thought. I thought it was going to be kind of quick. And now it's going to end up being like a whole year ordeal of issues. So
With the Boch fight, you were looking at that as, win this fight, no question, I'm probably going to get Anderson. Now you maybe don't have to have that one fight before you get him, and you kind of weasel your way around that one fight.
call me a weasel. Because Bisping called me, Chris the Weasel Weidman, so I can't let that nickname keep going.
But I mean, before you thought, okay, it's okay that I need one fight before they go, let me fight him, and now you don't feel the same way. You're like, that's cool, I can fight him.
Oh, I mean, well, first of all, before my Boch fight, I wanted to fight him straight up, right away, and he said he didn't want to fight till 2013, and then I actually had elbow surgery, and then he took the fight with Stephan Bonner before in 2012, out of nowhere, and then now we're at, then I ended up getting the Boch fight.
Dana says he wants to fight in April.
Well, I can't fight in April, but who's going to fight in April?
Chris, what would you? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. What would you think about doing Ultimate Fighter to get the shot at Anderson Silva, like as a coach?
Well, me versus Anderson Silva?
Yeah. Opposing coaches.
That'd be a dream come true, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to coach Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
What's that?
He's not going to coach Ultimate Fighter.
Maybe.
If you got to fight someone before Anderson, what do you think they'll put up with you? What are you looking at?
I'm not looking at. I'm whoever the UFC decides to give me. I know there's some good guys: Lombard, Mutual Economy, Rockhold,
Vitor?
Vitor. Those are all fights I'd definitely love to have, but I'd rather, my goal is to get that belt. Anderson has it. He's also, the greatest of all time, so I want that opportunity to fight him and prove to myself and everybody else that I just not only belong in the cage with him, but I can, really, make a statement. So.
Is it, the tragedy that happened in your personal life with your house? Is it good that you're hurt in a way because, mentally, if you were trying to deal with that and also deal with, getting ready to fight a guy like Anderson Silva, it might make it more difficult, so you at least have time to deal with the house situation before you worry about him?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's definitely helping. I guess everything happens for a reason, and I try to look at the positive in things, and that's definitely one of the things I'm thinking about.
Where were you during the storm? Like, did you leave home and then come back to find the house the way it was?
No, I stayed home. I was actually, me and my cousin, we were saving stuff on the first floor and bringing it to the second floor during the storm. I really stayed. We didn't. The worst hurricane, the worst flooding we've ever had on our area. I live on the canal. Was last year, and didn't even get in my garage. So we were thinking. They said it was going to be kind of equal to that, maybe a little worse, maybe not as bad. So we were thinking, all right, maybe we'll get something in our garage. So we stacked things up on the garage, and we thought we were good. I could not believe what happened.
But the rest of your family wasn't with you, right?
Just me and my cousin stayed there.
What about, and I don't want trying to make this a political thing, but Governor Christie made a big statement about the people in Sandy Hook weren't being, not Sandy Hook, Hurricane Sandy weren't being taken care of and all that. And do you feel like the government's responded to the whole situation to help people, like in your case?
I think they did a good job in the beginning, but I know we didn't get FEMA money yet, and some people did, some people didn't. I don't know. I'm still waiting. And I know that Red Cross came for the first couple of days and they kind of just disappeared. They had the video cameras out and I didn't see them anymore. But the gas thing was a real problem for a while. I was like, where are we right now? This is like a third world country and we have nobody helping us. Like, what's going on? I'm going to say there was some good things and some bad things with that. I'm going to say people, you got to see good in people. A lot of people are really united. I became really close with my neighbors, helping each other out throughout the whole thing. Neighbors. I was probably one of the few people that stayed back during the storm, and so I actually saw my neighbors come back and see what happened to their houses, and they're just devastated. And just you feel for them and kind of unite. It was cool with that. But as far as government, I don't know.
As things were breaking apart and you were in the house, are you going, this is my biggest nightmare? Can you walk us through sort of?
I didn't think, I was actually just having a good time. I was pumped to be at the house during the hurricane. It's oh, this is going to be cool. But then when the water started getting in, I'm like, is this really happening? And it's not stopping. It was literally 3 hours before high tide, and it was in the house. Already filled up the whole garage, ruined everything in my garage. I'm just and I couldn't save anything. And then it was just nonstop work all night. I sleep all night, just trying to save stuff from the first floor.
Did you lose anything that was really, emotional to you? That like your child's things?
I lost a lot of my awards, bracket sheets and stuff like that from wrestling. So singlets, old singlets and stuff like that. My wife lost more stuff that she cared about than I did, like Chris's ornaments. Her whole thing was her little hobby was collecting Chris's ornaments, and they were all gone. So that everywhere we ever went, she always got Chris's ornament. So we got to restart that collection.
Jim, did that affect you at all where you are in Jersey?
My house personally, we got kind of lucky. We didn't get hit that bad. I was only without power for about a day, but within a couple minute radius drive, my parents were 10 minutes away. They were without power for 8 days. And my brother Dan's with them, so my nephew dealing with that. And the weather the way it was a pretty tough struggle for them to keep the generators running all the time.
Is that something did they need power for your nephew's house at all? Or?
For some of it at this point, because he still uses a feeding tube occasionally, and there was things for that. With kids, it was being without power with 2 little babies. It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, they have 2.
Yeah, they have 2. So it's it's not easy being sanitary, especially around a kid with that has a depleted immune system.
Yeah.
How much did getting that fight bonus for UFC 155 help you out with the nephew?
You know, it all helps. You know, he's doing pretty good now, and it's really just the you know, I don't know, developmental stuff. You know, you're working with a kid that's 3 years old that can't crawl yet. You know, can't stand up. He can scoot around a little bit on his butt. And that's about it. You know, he just starts talking. So really, when it comes to the money and stuff like that, it helps. You know, it all helps. But it's really just kind of working with him.
Do you let the emotions of helping him out with that propel you in the fight, or do you think your performances would be as spectacular as the one we saw with or without that?
I learned earlier in my career to separate things. You know, I don't go into fights with you know, those types of things on my mind. You know, it's easier for me than it is for Dan. You know, I mean, I've got it a million times easier because I don't live that life every day. You know, I'm just living it, you know, as an uncle, and seeing him deal with, you know, the heartache and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, for me it's a bit easier to, you know, shut it off and focus on what I got to do.